So welcome to the last part of Mega Man X3, where we're going to be taking out Sigma for the third time. And as you can see, there's all sorts of Sigmas in the background. I also like that joke that Brain Scratch made, and I know I reference them a lot in this Let's Play, but this was actually a pretty funny one they did. It's like, that Sigma's going to be an X4, that Sigma's going to be an X5, that Sigma's going to be an X6. Oh, and also, if you left Zero alive, Zero would have showed up here and end up breaking that door, which unfortunately we cannot go to. Let's see, this part's gonna require a long climb, so let's just go ahead and do that. Oh, well, that was weird. Yeah, you have to dash up in order to get there. And of course, Sigma's decked out in his Marvel cosplaying again. Actually, I think this looks more like, well, besides the shield, that I don't really know what kind of armor this is supposed to be. Relaxed, fit my Aunt Fanny, stupid duckers. And again, Sigma was mentioning the eternal struggle, which also involved Homer trying to put his pants on. See, this first part's pretty simple. What you have to do is, just get behind him, and then just hit him whenever he, opens up. And, let's see, after you shave off about half his health, he's going to, try and throw his shield at you. And then 3/4 of his health, it's gonna take a different direction. And, yeah, outside of that, it's really not in your best interest to get hit a lot in this fight. And you will see why once we get to this next form. And yeah, he's definitely not kidding there. Yeah, I think horrific was definitely the right way to describe that thing. See, what he does here is that he flies back and forth, and whenever you're behind him, he likes to shoot these missiles at you. I thought I was gonna hit him then. See, these mines are something that you do have to worry about, and also the hitbox on this thing is pretty tricky. He has like one little part behind his head that you have to hit him. And if you hit him anywhere else, then, yeah, see, that's also what he likes to do. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, if you hit him anywhere else, it just bounces off him. And that's just the annoying thing he likes to do whenever he uses those missiles. And then just makes it jump into a mine. But with that, you are gonna have to go bye-bye at some point. Preferably right here. And it turned out I don't end up getting hit by, or getting a chance to hit him. And you're out of here. Yeah, unfortunately this isn't the end, because this is an... well, yeah, this isn't a Mega Man. Actually, what was I saying? Anyway, it turns out you have to escape now. So yeah, Sigma's gonna try and take me with him. So what you have to do here is, you have to climb the walls. And, see, the first time I did end up beating this, I got caught off guard by it. And, fortunately, I didn't end up dying, but, you know, it was still pretty, nerve-wracking. And this is when he just decides to be a prick and knock you down. And, it is pretty easy to get stuck under those, ceilings and then end up getting crushed. If that happens, you have to fight the whole thing over again, which is pretty lame. But, yeah, this thing took me a ton of tries to do the first time I played it. I ended up fighting it for about like 2-3 hours, just dying over and over again. And, well, X is in a lot of trouble here. And, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that boss fight. It's obviously a lot easier with the Z-Saber, but in the first form you can use a spinning blade, the second form you can use the acid burst. But it's really precise to hit him with that thing. So who's gonna save X now? Well, it's the Weatherman himself. And there is actually an alternate ending if you kept Zero alive. And it turned out Zero ends up saving him instead. And I am going to show off that ending, since I do like that ending better anyway. I might as well just show it off when we're done here. And yeah, outside of that, I'll give my final thoughts on it once we see the ending with Zero. And I do want to do that just because, like I said before, I just like that ending better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play that one instead. So welcome back, and here I have Bit and Bite left alive, and we're at the end of Doppler 1. So let's just go ahead and fight them now. And really the only difference is that they do combine. And actually if you leave Bit or Bite alive, you'll get this fight anyway. So you have to kill them both in order to get the press disposer, or whatever that thing is called. So these two combine to form something called Godcar Machine no Inari, or something like that. But anyway, the way this guy fights is pretty simple actually. He either uses his sword, or he's going to try and use the fist to either capture me or punch me, or one of those two. And if you do get captured, he'll throw you into the air, and then have that second fist just smash you, or smash into you. And he also likes to use a sword, and the sword's pretty simple to dodge when you have the chip. And with the Ray Splasher, this guy goes down pretty quick. So that is the end of Bit and Bite. See, I am going to show a few differences between Stage 2 if you killed Vile and then if you left him alive, so I'm not actually going to cut out the part yet, but I will pretty soon. As you can see, everything's broken because Vile, I guess, was pretty pissy about losing to X for the second time, or third time. And notice the different enemies here, and that only happens if you left Vile alive. And they actually do make it easier, in my opinion. Now you jerk. Yeah, you just have to worry about these crabs and then these two guys instead of those like armored enemies. And let's see, when you go here, you can actually go to Hawk and then get him going, because here there's no water, so you can just go this way. And then the first time I played this after killing Vile, I accidentally activated Hawk when I didn't know that it was all water, so I ended up getting him killed. Which is unfortunate, but that's just part of the game. And, let's see, I'm just gonna go here. And then, I think if you leave Vile alive, Mosquitos doesn't show up. So you can just explore the room and then nothing happens. And for the longest time, when I didn't know that you could kill, like, the different bosses, I actually had no idea what the purposes of some of these rooms were. And that was just something that just really threw me for a loop. So, let's see, I'll just get back to you when I get to the boss. Alright, now that we're here at Vile's door, let's just get the spinning blade ready. And the good thing about this stage is that this is just a big checkpoint room if you left Vile alive. And of course, because there's no water, there's no whatever the heck that thing was. And here's Vile, who really pimped out his ride armor. So we get to meet the new Goliath. And pretty much nothing has changed since the last boss fight and this boss fight. But let's see, one thing Vile does do differently is that sometimes he likes to shoot fireballs at you, and then sometimes he likes to put those barriers up. And then what that does is that can restrain you just enough so he can just crash into you with that armor. And it's really not all that different from the other boss fights. And you know what, I might as well... Okay, never mind. I guess I can't do it this way because, unfortunately, I don't have the proper... I guess if it's not full, you can't, like, activate it or something. I don't know. And, yeah, so this is gonna take a while, so I might end up speeding this up. But, yeah, you pretty much saw everything you needed to. I think the only thing that's missing is just one fireball. Actually, wait, this works. Let's just go with this weapon. And, yeah, I mean, that is pretty much all there is to this vile fight. And, there is gonna be another form, of course. But, the first form is simple enough. I'll just die already. Yeah, I'm getting hit on purpose just to, you know, make sure this doesn't take forever. But then, of course, he survived, so, let's just kill him for the second time here. And, the pattern is actually the exact same as, in the, first boss fight with him. And, that's really all you have to do is just the same thing. Except the difference is that he can, grab you. And outside of that, whenever he grabs you, you just, shake him off like usual. And I am getting hit a ton here, but at the end of the day, I really don't care. I just kind of want to get this over with. And after you beat him, he actually says the exact same thing. And the text slows down the exact same way. Even though that would have made a lot more sense if he was in X5, but we'll get to that when we get to X5. But right now, let's just skip over to the final Sigma stage. Alright, here we are at the last stage of the game, and let's just show off this little scene with Zero. And of course he decides to split off somewhere else. And this actually would have been a pretty nice segue to play as Zero for a short bit. That's assuming, of course, you had him. But, unfortunately, that's just not always the case. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fight Sigma. I'll probably just speed that up. Just to show you, like, how much longer it takes when you don't have the Z-Saber. Assuming I can make this jump. There we are. Yeah, so I'll just see you guys at the ending. So here we are at the ending, assuming you kept Zero alive. So let's just run to a wall, and then just activate this whole scene again. And you already saw this part, so I probably should have skipped ahead to the part where Zero shows up, but oh well. So either way, Zero shows up just in the nick of time. I also do like Zero's theme in this game. I mean, I think that's one thing they did do pretty well. Even though the music in this game is really not all that good, it, at least they got this theme right. And of course, he just uses Doppler's anti-Sigma virus program. And unfortunately, Sigma's not dead yet. Well, I mean, the castle has to blow up. I mean, this is a Mega Man X game after all. Let's just escape. And some lengthy explosion later, we get pretty much the same ending we got in the first two games. Pretty much just a lab explodes, things blow up, Sigma's defeated, and life is all fine and good now. And also I did like this ending better just because if you got Zero killed or used his beam saber, then X would just be here by himself. But at the end of the day, the ending really isn't all that different from the first two games. And this is just X being the philosopher that he is. He decides that repetition is the best form of interpreting things. And I actually would like to see some sort of Reploid philosophy, assuming of course that existed. I don't know, I guess he just believes in Reploids. Then again, I wonder if he could have drawn up like some kind of social contract between Reploids and society. I don't know, I'm just thinking out of my ass here, but then again, I haven't read that much philosophy in a while. Probably should get back into that. And yeah, the first time I beat this, I actually didn't beat X2 yet, so I actually didn't know about the whole Dr. Wily creating Zero thing, so this thing really threw me off. And only Mega Man X5 will tell when and why. So now we get our, well, not yet. Okay, there it is. Now we get our, cast roll for this, or for the game. And then I really do like this theme too. I know I'd probably put, X1's as the best one, but this one's actually pretty kick-ass in its own right. And I probably should give my thoughts on the game. I mean, while this is a decent game, it's a pretty big step down from the first two. And the main reason for that, I feel, is just the overall blandness of the levels, as well as the boss strategies, as well as the music. And unfortunately, like I said before with X2, it's just the little things that kept it from being as good as X2 and X1. And yeah, unfortunately, even though this is a step down, I mean, it still controls decently, it still plays pretty well. It's just not that good when you compare it to the other X games. I'd probably put this at number 5 in terms of X games I like, but at the end of the day, this is actually the one X game I played the most. So, those are just my overall thoughts on the game. I mean, this one does have the most nostalgic value to me. I think that one, X1 and X4, are probably the most valuable to me nostalgia-wise. And, you just get to see the ride armor. And also the statistics for the bosses come back. And then you can see they're nowhere near as strong as they were in X2. I mean, just looking at the numbers. And, yeah, getting back to some of the mechanics of the game, I do like the concepts that they use, they just weren't flushed out well enough. And one of the main offenders was the ride armor. And I did explain that plenty in, I think, part 2, or maybe it was part 3, I forgot. But the point is, I've already said that part. And then as far as playing as Zero goes, they really didn't perfect that whole thing until X8. But Extreme 2 actually did a pretty good job of alternating between X and Zero. And then it does let Zero fight bosses, and then you can actually play the whole game as Zero, or part of the game as Zero. But then they fix it so that the final Sigma fight, you have to have both X and Zero balance each other out, so that you can't have like a crappy X and a strong Zero, or a strong X and a crappy Zero, and expect to win. And that was one game I actually thought of doing for Mega Man Summer, but then decided against it. I mean, it is still a really good game, and it is definitely recommended. But like I said before, one of the reasons I do like X8 so much is that it got a lot of the things that a bunch of the other games tried to get right but didn't. but I'll get into that when I get to X8. And also, I do like the whole idea of X and Zero running together. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. And, let's see, you'll see the extra stuff pretty soon. And, let's see, I'm going to be getting back into the classic series with Mega Man's 4, 5, and 6. So I'll have to get to recording those and then see how those go. I am looking forward to playing classic Mega Man again. You know, I do think this change of pace worked out pretty well. And hopefully you guys agree. I am going to have to start uploading parts of Mega Man 5 raw, or the raw parts. You know, just so we can get to commentating on that. I still gotta get a hold of my guest. But hopefully he's watching this, so who knows. But if not, I'll just message him anyway. So that is it for Mega Man X3. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you pretty soon.